Welcome back to Apex Alchemy. In our weekend update video that me and Courtney recorded, you got to see the knife that I got from Nick Edward. It's a List George VECP, Valuable Engineering something other. I don't know, man. I don't really understand the actual acronym. I was joking around. I said something about it's vagina easily corrupts penis. I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna tell you my favorite thing about this knife is I'm real big into threes, and I don't know why. It's just a thing. But like I'm specifically 33. I'm really big into 33. Turn this knife over, and you got all these like little shapes that kind of look like threes. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but like I just try to trace one out, like boom, boom, and boom. So like that top line is definitely not as deep. It's a little shallower. All right, I know that's crazy. It's a crazy thing to like about a knife, but this knife feels modernized, and I hate to say it, but generic. And I'm not talking about generic on in the terms that we think about when we think about like monetary value stuff. I can obviously see the quality. The quality's there. This pivot is, it's maybe one of the best pivots I've felt, but it doesn't feel like it offers a lot. I don't know, man. And like the innovations just seem to be tired, And I know the VCP is an older knife, so it's been out for a little while, and it's a lot of people's favorite knife, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot to love about this knife. Great quality, good steel. Les George is known to have a really good heat treatment process. Minimalist design in a way with a little bit of decorations, milling on the titanium show side. Probably a T15 if I know Les George, and I don't know Les George personally. I have spoken with him a few times. Probably see him at the November Nashville show, but what I mean is like he uses T15s a lot, and you'll see T15s pop up even in the Spartan Taiwanese bronze series. If he designs a knife, most likely it's going to have a T15 hardware like the Aster. All right, so you got the basic Benchmade style, what I'll call it. I'm not sure. I don't have a Benchmade back here. Just a second. I may not. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, got the Benchmade style pocket clip. It might or might not fit. I'm not really sure. I also see these threes on zero tolerance. Emerson, you see them a lot. The basic construction of this bad boy, I believe that will be a T6. Sorry about the doggy. That's a T8. That's why. If you heard the dog, sorry about that. So yeah, that'd be a T6 on the thumb stud. It's got an interesting thumb stud, but I can't get used to it, man. I fail this thing a lot. This is probably one of the main reasons why I'm not too crazy about the knife in the first place. Is I cannot reverse flick it at all. It's the only knife that I have more trouble flicking than the Chris Reeve and Cozy. And this is the first time I've ever handled one of these things. Nick told me it was brand new. It's probably gonna need a little bit of a break-in period, and I probably will need a little bit of an adjustment period, which is fair enough. But I don't know if there's enough knife here for me to be like, okay, I want to adjust the way I'm already used to so many other great knives to learn how to use this knife, because it's just not that special to me. It is what it is. It's a great. You can definitely tell that it's constructed well. There's nothing to. I would definitely depend. Like I would depend on this knife with my life. That's no joke. Let's get some measurements out of the way. Overall, it is 8¼ inches. Closed, it'll be 4¾ with a 3½ inch blade. So it should be right there with The Hinder XM18 3.5. Yeah, right there, right there. So anyway, man, I'm not. I don't know. The knife just doesn't speak my language. I did give Nick buybacks on it, so I'm going to give him an opportunity to get it back. I just received it, so I'll give him time if he needs time, and if not, then I'll move on into moving this into somebody else's hands. Don't jump on me on offers just yet, because I think I may already have a backup plan for it, but if it's a full titanium frame lock with a hell of a pivot, you know, it is milled out for weight reduction, and we'll see exactly what that means. Let's check that out. Break the scale out and see how much it weighs. In grams, it's already on grams, so it's 141 grams, so it'll be a little bit lighter than the Hinder XM18 3.5. So at 141, this is 155. So I'll just take a stab and say this is 5.2 ounces. 5.0. Okay, cool. 5.0 ounces. And anyway, it's got a good, it's got a better weight to length ratio than the Hinder, but not by much. But just not trying to compare it to the Hinder. You guys probably know I'm not a huge fan of the Hinder either. But I think I like the construction of this knife a little bit better than the Hinder. You won't need as many tools to take it apart. All these tools may be the same size. There's no sense in keeping on talking about that. Okay, I'm that may be an Allen head. The T15 does fit in there, and it does turn it, but it doesn't feel right. So I'm not, I might have the wrong tool. But this is a T10 as far as I can tell. Oh, that's not a T10. I just had the T10. Believe it or not. It's a T9. T10. Okay, T10. That's definitely the tool for that. Or if it's not, it missed a hell of a chance. But it should be very simple to take apart. It shouldn't need any kind of specialty stuff. You'll need a lot less tools to take it apart than, and I don't know if you'd be able to fit anything in there to adjust that D10 or not on that lock bar. But it does have an over travel stop, much like a Hinder. In fact, I think they're interchangeable, if I'm not mistaken. But I think the knife would feel a little bit better if it wasn't milled out. There's a little more heft, then I think possibly that it would feel a little bit better to me. But what about the blade thickness? .84 millimeters, not shabby. So that's 0.15. It's a huge blade stock. It's flat ground. I know I said I'm going to compare it to the Hinder, but let's bring this back over here. Let's just see. So the Hinder's a little thicker. That's a flat grind too. With the slicer, I would have figured it would have been a hollow grind, but yeah. So about the same ballpark, really. As far as knives go, like it's about the same ballpark. It's like apples and oranges here, right? I just got a full tie version. I think both of them are around $450. I guess it's just be like choose what you like, right? But anyway. If there's anything I left out. Okay, Les George. One of my Grail knives that's almost like a real Grail knife, is the Les George Harpy, which the ZT0920 was based off of. I'd show you one if I had it, but I don't have one anymore. But the Harpy is one of those knives that may take me years to get a hold of. I don't know. I may get lucky at a Nashville show and be able to scoop one up one of these years. He doesn't make many of them, and I'm not sure why. It's a way more attractive knife. It's got a nice recurve. The handle is God mode. It's a very slicey blade. It's a great the Harpy's a great knife. And I'm not saying this one isn't, but like he doesn't even make these as much as he makes the little tiny ones, which would be about the size of the Bradford Guardian, which is right here, the G3F. So it's like the ESVE or whatever the hell it's called is about the same size as this. So like it's interesting to see, you know, like I don't know, maybe I'm probably a minority when it comes to the Harpy being a cooler looking knife than the VECP. I'm sure I am, and a lot of people don't like to deal with recurves. That's a very it's a very realistic recurve though, you know, in saying all that. But this is gonna be my standalone video for the Les George VECP. Thank you, Nick, for giving me a good deal on it and let me check it out. I'm glad you did, and I'm glad I did. Probably not going to be my thing though. You guys have a great one. We'll catch you on the flip side.